What up, peeps? Welcome back to the flip side. Now, I've been seeing this question a lot lately, and it's, where have all the good girls went? Where are all the good girls? Da 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 da, the good Christian girls with a brain on their heads. Well, I've come up with my own response for that, and the short answer is, they've been taken by other good guys with actual brains on their heads that have goals and are working towards their goals and are not just, NPCs. And I'll get on the NPC thing in a moment, but another thing is that, they have their own means of transportation, they have a job, like, stuff like that. I mean, probably maybe living with your parents still or stuff like that, or in a cheap little apartment. But that doesn't really matter. So, one thing that I've noticed is that you can decipher who is not an NPC based on how good of a connection you can make with that person. And what I mean by that is, if you can have a good, deep conversation with them, and they actually provide like a opinion or a response that is actually human and not just like some regurgitated bot response that they heard off of like the media. See, the thing is, the real players, that's what I call the non-NPCs. The real players, they stand out amongst each other. And that means not always physically, because you never really know. There are cases, though, where you can notice an NPC right off the bat, like right off the fucking bat. Whether it could be some fucking homeless bum off the street, or it's just some fucking dude walking in the store in his wife beaters and like he stinks, and he's not, just doesn't care. Or it's some fat woman with blue hair, short blue hair, or it's some friggin' redneck looking Trump hat wearing dude with a beer belly, something like that. But because the real players stand out amongst each other, they sort of connect easily. And what helps is that they can have a deep conversation as well. They can have a non-NPC conversation. And that helps. That helps make a deeper connection with the other person. Because honestly, in life, if you're a real player and you're not an NPC, you don't want to date an NPC. I have met some NPCs that I thought I liked, and nowadays I realize if I ever dated them, it would have not ended on a good note at all. Like, I feel stupid for even liking these people. And that goes for friends too. I've had NPC friends, and I've met some NPC girls that I thought I wanted to date, and thank God I didn't try. So, it's easier for for NPCs to get into dates because they don't really consider it. I mean, what I meant to say was they don't consider a lot of things when NPCs are dating. Most of them just go off of looks, like how attractive they are. Like a Stacy will immediately want to date a Chad. And one of those NPC Chads, not like your based Chad. Like, when I say Chad, I mean like an NPC meathead Chad. You know, that thinks that physique is everything and driving a nice car. And they just have a shit taste in music too for some reason. But you know the type. The literal stereotype. The literal negative Chad stereotype. Those types of people. And the Stacys, I don't think I have to go into depth about the Stacys. But the Stacys and the Chads will click like that because it's just lust attracting them. So they'll date for a little while, you know, bang it out a bunch of times, and then they'll break up, and it won't be a good breakup. It'll be a bad breakup because they didn't even realize, but at the same time, they don't realize that they're both NPCs. You know? They'll think about all the bad stuff, but they won't realize they were dating an NPC. And then they'll just go find another NPC to date, another hot Stacy or Chad or whatever. And they'll go off of all the unrealistic, you know, qualities about somebody, and they'll demand all these other unrealistic qualities in the other person, stuff like that. However, the real players, we don't go off of looks as much. I mean, at the same time, we don't want some fat, ugly goober to date. We really don't. Okay? We want a mildly attractive person. You know, a person that actually looks like they care enough about themselves to look presentable. And we want someone with a brain on their head. Not someone that, you know, can barely hold up a conversation, that's gonna repeat the same gobbledygook that they hear off of the media. Not someone infected by a political mind virus. Stuff like that. So, to reiterate, we go off less about looks and more about intelligence. And why is it harder for real NPCs to date? Well, it's because it's a more competitive market for us. It's not very competitive for NPCs for all the reasons I just listed a few minutes ago. However, it is a more complicated and competitive market for us because with all of our goals in mind, we all sort of want different things. You know, we're all working towards various different things in life. Sometimes we're just going to end up going different directions in life. We're not going to have time to be with each other. Our schedules are not going to be able to mix very well. And it's sad, but it's not necessarily a sad thing because we should feel good for each other that we are going to accomplish our goals. It's also complicated because you sort of have to feel them out, you know? You have to emotionally as well. sometimes people are not emotionally available yet. They're recovering from another breakup, or they have some sort of personal issues going on that are affecting their ability to effectively care for their partner. To get into the competitiveness of real player dating, well, we kind of just, if we see an opportunity, we just take it, you know? And because of the limited real players in this world, we're very opportunistic. We need to get this real player before the other real players get it before us. That's as simple as I can make it. That's the simplest explanation that I can create, is that the competitiveness is to the point where we need to take it before other people do. And the people that haven't been taking and getting are in a constant game of catch up. I'm cold. I should just put the heat on for a little bit. Get these fucking wipers off. Turn that on. Get some heat up in here. So, we are in a constant game of catch up. I, right now, am in a constant game of catch up. I ain't talking tomatoes. Because, I mean, obviously, the women that I have spoken to, most of them, are already in a relationship. And that's good. That's good for them. I'm not hating at all. I'm not hating at all. I am a hating machine. But certain things I'm not going to hate on. I'm not going to resent. I'm not going to be jealous. It's good. It's good, and I'm glad for them because I hear who they are dating, and it sounds like they're not NPCs. They're real players. I'm not mad at that, you know? I would be a little bit shitty if they were dating an NPC. Because that's just kind of unfortunate. You know, I'm not going to go too deep into it. But so that's basically it. To summarize, it's easier for NPCs to date because there's less thinking going into it, and there's more NPCs in this world. So there's a greater quantity and easier thought process. Not because it's a good thought process, but because it's just a very simplistic way of thinking for them. Real players' dating market is more complex and competitive because there's more qualities to the NPC. I mean, wow. The real player. There's more complexities about the real player. And there's more of a demand. And there are less real players. So, there you go. Hope you guys enjoyed. And with all that said, I will see you all next time back on the flip side. Peace out.